How is everyone? It is, let's see, am I live? Yes, I am live. Am I live? I'm not live on Instagram. Let me do that. Hi, all right, we are now live on both channels. Hi, everyone, how are you? It is amazing to be with all of you, as always. I have a story of hope for you today. Who's ready for a story of hope? Huh? Who's ready for a story of hope? So, it's a fairly, well, we worked together for quite some time, so I feel like I was going to say it's a fairly long story, but we have time, right? We have time. So, anyway, I get to come to you guys live every single week and share information to help you live your best life. And for many of you, that also means becoming a mother for the first time, for the second time, for the third time, optimizing your fertility so you can get pregnant faster, so you can get and stay pregnant. I'm Amy Ralph of amyralph.com. I wrote all of those books above me. Two bestsellers in the fertility space. Yes, you can get pregnant, and also the egg quality diet. And if you guys, Facebook, Instagram, if you haven't yet started following me on TikTok, you should. I started a TikTok channel and it is blowing up and it is a lot of fun. And I'm just giving like tidbits of really important information in a different format. And sometimes I'm dancing and singing too, and it's really a lot of fun. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, do that. It's, I think it's at Amy Ralph Fertility. I don't even remember, but you can find me. Same name, all the places. So, Story of Hopes. We do these every month, and I am starting my pregnancy list already for 2022. I mean, look at this list. It's getting long. It's getting long. 14 so far, and we're in April. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. And that's just me personally. That's not all of my associates at this point. My one coach who's been coaching with me the longest, she's got like a very high percentage rate of pregnancies in the last year that she's been working with me. So we're starting to add those numbers in too. But anyway, lots of good success stories. So when I met this woman, she was 43 years old. I'm reading her paperwork right here. She came to me with, as she wrote, infertility and recurrent miscarriage. What have you tried so far? So she'd been from 2011 to 2019 dealing with fertility challenges and recurrent loss. She's tried Chinese herbs, supplements. She's tried going gluten-free and dry brushing. She has an RE, reproductive endocrinologist, several different ones, basically. At the point that I saw her, she had worked with 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 reproductive endocrinologists. Her diagnosis was unexplained infertility, high natural killer cells, low progesterone. She had tried intralipids before and after ovulation, progesterone suppositories. In 2014, so we're going all the way back. Well, let me give you the story. 2011, we started trying for a baby. I had a chemical pregnancy, August 2012. Started spotting 2 days after a positive test. Then May 2013, I had a positive test and HCG never went higher than a 19. In July 2013, I had another positive test. HCG went to a 44 and never went higher. Started progesterone supplements, started working with RMA, and then moved to New York City, did 3 IUIs with Dr. Sammy David, who treated natural killer cells and said they were slightly elevated. She said, I feel like I get pregnant every 3 months. I feel all the symptoms, but the egg cannot implant. I spot before my period and notice like clockwork I am spotting 1 week after ovulation. So she went on, she did 3 IUIs with Dr. Sammy David in 2014, September, October, November. Then she did IVF in 2014, December, and then she did a frozen embryo transfer with her own eggs and her husband's sperm in 2015, where she transferred using She did intralipids, she did steroids and blood thinners, and she carried her baby son to term. Had him in 2015, had a C-section, had a pretty traumatic birth, which will come up later in this story, but good thing to remember. And then when she came to me, she had been trying for baby number 2 for about 2 years. 2017, she did an IVF. She had another embryo from previous. She transferred that, didn't take. She then made a mosaic embryo that she put on ice. No one wanted to transfer that. Before I met her, she had done 2 IVFs in 2018, 2 IUIs as well. And so here's more of the story. Started intralipids before and after IUIs, did IVF at Columbia and was successful. First round of IVF, got 22 eggs. So this is back in 2014. 22 eggs, 2 fertilized, 1 blast, PGD tested, normal. She had her son. Second IVF in 2014 at Columbia, 27 eggs, 2 retrieved, 2 made it to blast, 1 was abnormal, and 1 was a mosaic. She did an FET with the mosaic. So 1 was monosomy. Something interesting I learned recently from Dr. Murphy and Dr. Marco, just because I have their ear and I can ask them questions. They don't feel uncomfortable transferring anything that just has 1 chromosome instead of a trisomy. So a monosomy, if it implants, has a good chance of coming home, which I think is really interesting for us all to kind of like put away. The body's really smart at autocorrecting. Trisomies, it cannot autocorrect for, but a mosaic, which the chromosomes are just kind of all blurry and mixed around, whereas a monosomy is everything's in the right order, just missing chromosome 14. Just have 1 copy instead of 2. Those can, if implant, can autocorrect and make home a healthy baby. Not everybody is willing to transfer those, but just to keep that in mind if you're, when you're testing embryos and what to discard and what not. I think it's, so anyway, did a low stim IVF with Janelle, Dr. Luke at Generation Next, transferred 3 3-day embryos and unsuccessful. So then she comes to me. She's on baby aspirin after ovulation, prednisone after ovulation. So now she's just trying to get naturally because it actually caused a lot of strain in her relationship. And her husband was done. No more IVF, no more fertility treatments. If you want another baby, it has to happen at home. That's that. She even entertained the idea of donor eggs. He wanted nothing to do with any of that. And she just really had a very strong call for this child, which I know you all can relate. So she was taking baby aspirin ovulation and prednisone. She had a doctor that was prescribing it for her when she could be pregnant because of her case of like habitual chemicals, basically. Fish oil, liver pills. So she had read my books: myo-inositol, CoQ10, PQQ, papaya enzyme, probiotics, spirulina, prenatals, Chinese herbs from another acupuncturist she saw. She had moderate exercise in her life. So mind you, now at this point she also has like a 4-year-old when I meet her, right? She wakes up at night to go to the bathroom. She sleeps 7 hours. Work is not stressful, but it's tiring. She works with children. She has 1 cup of coffee. She eats sugar daily. Honey, dark chocolate, croissant, or sweet treat on the weekend. Her diet is fairly good. Gluten-free oatmeal with berries, walnuts, coconut milk, leftovers or eggs for lunch, healthy protein with veggies, all organic, yogurt with fruit. So she's not dairy-free. She's mainly gluten-free, but she's not eating enough. When I get down into the nitty-gritty and have her do food diaries, she's not eating enough. She's not eating enough protein. Her primary emotions: restless, always looking for the next thing, next job, next department, not content with what I have. Fearful, sad. Past 7 years of fertility challenges have changed me. I feel like I have PTSD. So she was very in touch. So what made her happy? She does music. And then I asked about natures of any traumatic experiences. This is all in my new patient intake. So if you work with me or any of my coaches or any of my associates in the clinic, we collect all this information because it really helps us form the right plan for you. So we don't just look at your fertility numbers or your age or your previous fertility treatments. Trauma plays a big role. How much you sleep plays a big role. What you eat plays a big role. Your relationship, if you're in one, plays a big role. So she listed out, she had a lot of trauma. Her grandmother died after trying to get pregnant for 3 years, finally got pregnant with IVF, and then her sister announced her pregnancy, and she just been trying, with a guy that she just met for 5 months ago, and so that was really traumatic for her. After 3 more years of failed treatments, guess what? Someone else very close, pregnant again. She tried to see a psychotherapist in 2012, 2013 to help with some of the trauma, and the therapist actually fell asleep during one of the sessions. I've heard that more than once, actually. And it was a horrible experience. It made her feel even more unseen and unheard. Her biggest complaint, her digestion has always been slow. Colds, get 1 or 2 a year. What does she want from me? She wants me to fix her luteal phase, her possible autoimmune issues, so I can sustain a healthy pregnancy. My IVF coverage is all used up. Wasn't working anyway. After my last failed IVF, you guys can relate to this, in 2018, I was really at a low point, was ready to do donor eggs, but my husband is not on board. I realized they had to go another route since I'm desperate for a second child. I read your book and it was amazing. I've been trying to do everything you say in the book, have trouble keeping gluten out of my diet 100% of the time. I read Body Belief too. So I hadn't yet written Egg Quality Diet. I have been doing Molly Nichols visualizations, which are incredible. I feel a change since I started them. I hope to be pregnant by now. My age is weighing on me. I'm 43, soon to be 44. I need to take it to the next level by doing acupuncture with you and counseling with you. And then we went through her symptom checklist. She had random rashes. She had a lot of digestive issues, gas, belching, constipation, hemorrhoids, rectal bleeding, fatigue, allergies, cold hands and feet, nighttime urination, depression, restlessness, indecision, poor memory, high libido. And she wrote down 4 pregnancies, 3 miscarriages, 1 child. So this is the intake, and now I was working with her before I had electronic health records. So my notes are, I went through all of our emails. I have a bunch of notes here, and then I have a bunch of notes in my EHR. Let me just pull that up. So I'll let you guys, if you have questions, just save them for the end, or I'll go through at the end. Questions about this case, though, right? This isn't a live Q&A. I did that last week, didn't I? From sunny Florida. Hence my suntan still in this. Okay, so after that initial intake, right? So even for, she started seeing me for acupuncture in New York City, but even still, I still always do my initials via virtually, and then start seeing them in the clinic. That's still how I run it. Just easier for me. So I sent her a follow-up email, tell her to go dairy-free in addition to gluten-free, try to decrease grains overall. So mind you, I hadn't yet written Egg Quality Diet, but I had written Body Belief, and she totally fell into that Body Belief category where there was autoimmune fertility challenges going on. So this is where I'm actually starting to formulate the Egg Quality Diet. Like, these are the cases that were coming to me. Try to decrease grains. I know I already said that. Here's a sample menu. Switch your coffee to organic. Add fat, blah, blah, blah. Shop organic. Get more fat in your diet. Soak your nuts in your beans. Gave her snack foods. Get in bone broth. So mind you, this is June 2019. So almost 2 years ago today. And just note, I've been saying the same thing for quite some time. Start sending me a food diary. Check all your bath and beauty products, go non-toxic. As for your supplements, I want you on liver, cod liver, prenatal, vitamin D, magnesium, the mitochondrial supplement that she's on. I wanted her to get a complete thyroid panel. No one had checked thyroid. And then it turns out no one had checked sperm since 2013, 2012. Yeah. And you'll see in the case that was really fucking annoying. So we start working together. She's trying naturally. We're working on the menstrual spotting in the luteal phase. She had what felt like a chemical, like the month after she started working with me. She was half in, half out with the diet, was having a hard time sticking to it, especially with summer and travel plans. Totally understandable. She's human. We're all human. She gets blood work back. Her vitamin D is really low. It's a 26. Her thyroid was okay. No thyroid antibodies. Her TSH was okay. It was a little higher, but we were just going to monitor it. She has the MTHFR mutation. No one had checked her there. I had her do food diaries for me once September rolled around because the summer was chaotic. She just wasn't eating enough. Very classic. It's typical. Most people don't eat enough. She was eating well, but not enough. Not enough protein, not enough vegetables, right? My goal always is 80 grams of protein a day, 6 to 8 servings of vegetables a day. If you're eating good quality, nutrient-dense protein, like the type I recommend, the fat falls into place. So I'm already putting her on the egg quality diet, obviously before I've even written it, because that's what was working clinically for me. She started doing IUIs in the fall of, this is now 2019, right? So she starts with IUIs again. Her husband's open to it. She basically gets his sperm. I think they froze it, and then she was just going to do IUIs. But they were definitely emotionally strained. And so she does a handful of IUIs, nothing works, maybe feels like she has 1 or 2 more chemicals. COVID hits, and so everything shuts down, right? So we roll into, COVID hits in 2020, right? So we do the IUIs, nothing happens. We're continuing to work together. Very, very stressful, very fight or flight every time I see her. And just so I'm encouraging talk therapy for her, encouraging talk therapy for her and her husband. And things kind of stay the same. So we roll into COVID hits, right? And so at that point, maybe she's done 5 or 6 IUIs with letrozole. Nothing's happened. Besides, she never got a positive, but she gets all the feelings of a pregnancy every 3 months, like she says, but nothing happens. And we're doing the prednisone, and we're doing a baby aspirin, just a low dose of prednisone in the luteal phase. Again, her doctor was prescribing that to her based on her history of getting pregnant with her son. She then switches to working with me virtually because COVID has hit, and so we're doing lots of, we're doing coaching calls. So we do one in April 2020. She wants me to help her decide next steps. Right now the clinics are closed, but things are going to open back up in June. Her period has actually, she's really committed to the diet. She's, now she has the time like we all did during COVID and during lockdown. Her period, really beautiful, bright red, fresh blood. Her spotting is getting much better. Then doing some progesterone. The last cycle she had was she felt like another chemical. She had crazy ovulation pain one of the cycles. So anyway, we're just catching up and we're working through things. She's gonna plan another IUI. She's thinking about transferring the mosaic. What should I do intralipid? Should I do IVF? Right. So it was very even going through the emails, it's just very there's just a lot going on. So we started working on her story. I'm getting closer. I just need to get the right egg. I'm getting closer. I just need to get the right egg. Feels like it's happening more and more often, meaning that egg and sperm are meeting. She could feel that implantation. And I always say, when you guys say you feel it, I never doubt it. I trust you. I know you know your body. And so, we talked about simplifying the supplement regimen, working on her diet even more. She's, similar things, getting in snacks, adding collagen peptides to her organic coffee in the morning, Switching from some nuts and beans because we're starting to see those are not working for her. Should we try autoimmune paleo? I put her on some herbs. Mentally, I feel like this baby is really close. She could feel her belly getting bigger. So she's really working on all the mindset piece. And she does another IUI in April 2020, so right when we talked, and does have a chemical. And so, obviously, that sucks. And so, we spoke. She said, "Thanks for yesterday. I'm feeling a little better today." I spoke with a doctor. I need a plan. Though she was nice and gracious, I stepped away feeling so sad. What I heard was, "You have a tough case. Otherwise, we would have gotten you pregnant by now. You keep coming back, so I can see you really want this. I can't turn you away, but out of 10 tough cases, only 2 or 3 get pregnant, so I can't say no to you." This is what her doctor says to her. This is after the chemical. Maybe this isn't what she meant, but this is what I heard. She's totally willing to go back to IUI, but the thought of going back into the whole fertility cycle is so depressing. So then she's looking at like a new fertility clinic, and then she emails again. She's missing seeing me for acupuncture. The IUI didn't work again. This is in August now. We're in August 2020. We'll still try naturally. I'm still hopeful. And then she decides in September of 2020 that she's going to transfer that abnormal embryo that she has on ice, the monosomy. She had transferred the mosaic, it didn't take, if you remember, so the monosomy. Dr. Gleicher was willing to do it. He did a bunch of blood work on her. He felt like she had PCOS, which maybe, because of those, lots of those chemicals, sometimes can be a sign of PCOS. Lean PCOS is what he called it. And he put her on DHEA like he always does, CoQ10, and then maybe we would also do another retrieval and a transfer. And then she told her other doctor about this, and the other doctor said, "I want to do the transfer of," anyway, back and forth. They wind up transferring that abnormal. It does not take. But in that meantime, so this is October of 2020 now, she finds out she has 3 more IVFs covered under her insurance. So her insurance reset and she gets 3 more IVFs. So it changes things a lot for her, where she's like, I can go back to doing IVF. I don't have to just do the IUIs or try naturally. Her husband shoots it down. So she goes and she transfers as the abnormal embryo. It doesn't take. And so she said, we emailed December 2020, now to decide what's next. I really don't think I want to do more IVF, but I do have these 3 cycles covered. I'm leaning towards egg or embryo adoption, regardless of what my husband thinks. I just read an amazing book, The Fixed Stars. I don't think I can give up on this dream for myself, no matter what. And then I encouraged her at that point to talk to him about where she was at and ask again. Would you consider donor? Would you consider embryo adoption? Would you consider IVF again? Would you consider talking to someone? And he finally says in December 2020 that he was open to talking to someone again, to doing therapy. She said, we've had some intense therapy sessions and it looks like they are really working. I'm in shock and so extremely happy. I can't believe it. It's so exciting to be both on the same page and to go into this together. I'm just so grateful. So this is December 2020. And it took her, mind you, I started working with her summer of 2019, so almost a year and a half to that. And that whole time she's kind of just doing this on her own. He's not on board. He's not super, into it. He's not, he's showing up for her how he can, but they were not on the same page. And so getting them into therapy was, I think, a beautiful process because she was willing to do, all of it. Look at all the options. Should it be donor eggs? Should I not? And as I typically see, the couples aren't always aligned. It just feels like a lot of work for someone. And so therapy is amazing. So fertility struggles so hard in the whole family. I'm glad they were able to work through it. Me too. So they go to therapy. Okay. January, she emails me, we're making a plan. I'm so scared. I'm so excited. We're going to do a mock cycle and do an endometrial biopsy and a hysteroscopy because she hadn't had either done since her last pregnancy. So mind you, she's doing these IUIs. They did a transfer of the abnormal. No one's checked sperm. No one's checked her cavity. Just saying. And some of that I'll take responsibility for, but I was encouraging those things all along. So anyway, she didn't want to do a hysteroscopy or a biopsy. She just wanted, and I was like, you have to do it. You have to do it. So she said, okay. So February, maybe March, April transfer. Next will be finding the donor and figuring out what type of financing. So she messages me, do you have any thoughts about fresh versus frozen egg donor? Now, this was a big learning experience for me. I did not know that you could go and buy frozen eggs. I always thought when you use egg donor, it had to be a fresh cycle. Frozen eggs are a lot less expensive. I think she paid $7 to $10 grand for, I think it was $7 grand for 6 frozen eggs, something like that. And then out of that, they got 3 or 4. So she wound up going the frozen egg donor route. She said it was slim pickings, but they eventually found something. And then this is when we discover they do a semen analysis now on her husband at this point. His morphology is 2%. We look back in the records. Turns out we haven't done an analysis on him since 6 years ago. I'm a little devastated by this because we did so many IUIs, and she never did IVF with his current sperm, right? She did IVF with that, the abnormal embryo, so that was his sperm from 6 years ago. But the IUIs, they never checked sperm, and it wasn't until they started to use the donor. So I just bring that up too, of like to highlight these really important pieces here, guys. It's water under the bridge now. I have to forget about it and move forward, she said, but I'm wondering if I should go back. Like, she's like now questioning the clinic, right? Because the clinic missed this. They did. They want to do this uterine biopsy. I really don't want to do it. They also want to do the hysteroscopy. I don't want to do it. It's the same conversation. So now she's putting it off. And I said, no, you have to do both. You have to do both. We're working very hard here. We need to cross every T. I want you to feel like you've looked under every rock. The uterine biopsy rules out whether or not you have an inflammation in your uterus or a uterine infection, which will not allow an implantation to happen, or if it does, you could miscarry from it. Your history of miscarriages, no. I need a hysteroscopy because you've had a lot of chemicals over the last year and a half, right? And probably at this point she's had like 5. Okay. She does both. Thankfully, everything comes back, looks beautiful. Looks beautiful. March 2021. So, mind you, time has just gone on, huh? The eggs are en route to my clinic. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. We're thinking about an April transfer. They're going to put me on birth control. Have you heard of this? I'm not sure why. So I'm on the fish oil, vitamin D, C, a prenatal with methylfolate. Anything else I should be taking? Should I do the castor oil pack? Should I do the acupuncture? Da 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 da. Then one of them winds up getting COVID. So they have to put that off. So May, she messages me again. Just wanted to check and say hi. I'm gearing up. We're going to do the donor egg transfer in June. So excited. So when they fertilized, I told you, right? They had 7. They got 4. 4 embryos. No, 3 embryos out of that 7. Something like that. 4 or 3. I cannot remember. It's in here somewhere. And she says to me, what else can I do? I want to do everything. Can I come see you for acupuncture in New York City? So she said, then she sends me another email. How are you? This is May 11th, 2020. I just want to get your last words before the transfer. I'm trying to hold it together, but as every day gets closer, I'm starting to lose it. I still have a month. I'm scared. I'm not doing everything I should be. I'm doing the supplements, but not the greens. Not as much greens as I should. Should I add in more? I'm doing acupuncture. So she was seeing an acupuncturist near her apartment and then would come in once a month to see me when I was in. I'm doing acupuncture, castor oil packs, visualization exercises, journaling. I want to come see you, but didn't get a chance to book now. I don't know when the transfer will be, but I'm imagining it'll be around mid-June. Maybe I can get in and see you. Would love your thoughts. Part of me just wants to relax. This baby is either coming or not coming. Nothing much I can do now. The other part of me feels like I should do every single thing possible to get this baby to come. Yeah, I love you. And I wrote back, I hear you. I want you to do all the things that you will be proud of. This is important for all of you guys. I want you to do all the things that you will be proud of and look back on and feel good about. So why not give it your all? You'll never regret that. For the greens, just get 6+ servings of vegetables a day. If you want to add back in, like she was talking about, like a greens powder, that would work too. For Acu, I had an appointment for her, which was amazing. And so she winds up getting in to see me for acupuncture the day of the transfer, which was really exciting. And let's just go through it. So she sends me an email July 1st. She's about to get her pregnancy test. So despite lots of symptoms every night, I woke up at 3 a.m. and my body was saying no. My body was also whispering I should have been more aggressive with the medication, steroid and Lovenox. Now I'm regretting all of this. The blood test is today. I had a gush of brown blood already this morning and now just period cramps. I don't really know where to turn with our other 2 embryos. So that's right. She had 3 total that she got. My doctors don't believe in immune stuff. I'm always piecemealing some protocol together for myself. I want a doctor that will do that for me. What do you think I should be doing? Should I do the prednisone for sure and then the Lovenox? I thought I could finally have some luck after 5 years and have this happen on the first go. Thank the freaking Lord we have 2 more. I'm so grateful. So this is July 1 at 9:14 in the morning. At 9:52 on July 2nd, she sends me an email. HCG is 259. And her email says, wait, what? Holy fucking shit, Amy, what? So she's pregnant. She had a gush of blood. She didn't feel pregnant. And I said, something told me not to wait on responding to your previous email. That's a great first beta. Stay on all the things. So do I go back and do intralipids? What about the diet? Should I stick with it? I'm starving all the time. Oh my God, Amy, is this really happening? Thank you so much. I couldn't have done this without you. I said, please stay on the diet for sure. Do the extra dose of fish oils. If you can't get in for the intralipids, 4 grams of fish oil. Do the baby aspirin. Stay on the prednisone. And then we go back and forth. So the next beta, 5 days later, because she was traveling, was a 3,000. And her progesterone dipped a little bit. It was a 17. So she freaked out about that. She added a little more progesterone. July 19th, had our first scan. Baby was measuring 6 weeks and 2 days. All looked great. I still can't believe it. Anyway, I'm a little constipated. What are your thoughts? And so I'm supporting her through that. She sent me an email on July 28th. I just want to say thank you for bringing in the light into this terrible situation that so many women go through. I love you. You're amazing. 8 weeks. Everything goes well. Okay, let's see. Okay, so August 4th, now she's asking about OBs and midwives. I think that's great. And then, okay, 15 weeks on Thursday. I still can't believe it. I'm in total denial, and it's a boy. I'm coming to see you for acupuncture in a few weeks. I can't wait. I'm feeling great. The nausea has finally subsided. Okay, and then, just recommending some supplements, all the things. She checks in on me when I had COVID. She comes in for acupuncture, which was lovely. So this was really important. So now she's almost 20 weeks pregnant. And this is really common, guys, so this is why I'm still telling this story, although I think I have a call in 5 minutes, don't I? I've been fearing a lot. I've been having a lot of fear and anxiety come up around the birth. I want a VBAC, but want it to be okay if it's another C-section, but I'm terrified to have another one. I recently spoke with another acupuncturist, and she said, you should just expect to have a C-section so you can mentally accept it. I was offended at first, but now I'm wondering if she's right. Maybe I just need to accept it and come to terms with it. Anyway, thought I would run it by you as I'm struggling. Also wondering if you know of any programs that might help me, like hypnobirthing, or what about your fertility trauma coach? So I connected her with Dr. Samantha, who's on our team. And I told her to, look at EMDR specifically, do tapping around trauma. And so then her and Sam had a few really good sessions and really, really helped transform so much for her heading into the birth. And I just want to read you this, and then I'm going to sign off, but it was a good one. Oh, here it is. He's here. Hi, Amy. Baby boy is here. He was born on March 7th. He's absolutely perfect and beautiful. After an induction and an insane labor, 6 hours of pushing, he emerged with the help of a vacuum. I got my VBAC and no epidural. It was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, and I'm so proud that I was able to do it. I still can't believe it and have a new appreciation for our strength, tenacity, and power. And he's just beautiful and perfect. There's no way this child would be here without you. Even though we used donor egg, your support was my guiding light throughout it. You believed in me when I couldn't, and for that I will forever be grateful. No words can express how thankful I am to have found you when I did. You also directed me to Samantha, the trauma coach on our team, who helped me overcome my fear of another C-section. Along with the therapy, she gave me actionable steps that allowed me to advocate for my birth preferences. Without this, I'm not sure the VBAC would have occurred. I'm so humbled, grateful, and in awe. I cannot believe this child is finally here. I cry every day looking at him. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. And so there you have it. And I said, oh my God, he is perfect. You're a fucking rock star. Look at you making all your dreams come true. I'm so proud of you. And there we have it. What a beautiful story of hope, and one that was obviously a very long process. And also, I think it's important to share that donor eggs are okay, man. A lot of women do it, and it's just borrowing a few cells from someone else to jumpstart the process. So, but I do think it took a lot of emotional work for her and her partner to get there to do this, and then even more work once she achieved the dream of being pregnant again, because there was a lot of fear and anxiety that came up. There was a lot of trauma to be worked through. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that story, and I'm gonna go because I do think I have a call like right now that I forgot about. Okay, I love you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day.